Hello peoples, hope you're all well, keeping safe and all that business. I'm at home today, going to do a bit on the slabby, bit of polishing, bit of machining work. I've just taken off some parts which are a bit of a pain to get off because they're so stuck to the bike. Little series of emotions, pretty annoyed with myself because you know, I make these things nice and polished and all that sort of jazz, and then I just leave them to go to wreck and ruin. I don't know why I do it. Get involved with other things or whatever for the sake of being able to put that away and the bike away or whatever it is away, you know, clean and tidy without being exposed to the elements, you know. And I did this bike once before and it's just sat outside for 2 years. So anyway, just having a few little minor words with myself as I couldn't get these bolts and stuff out. So I've got a couple of pieces here I'm going to have a work on today. First being the engine mount, the spacer, this one in fact. That was the engine mount, bit of a mess. One of the engine cases and the other rear set. So there's my controls from the left, gear controls and that, rear sets. Can't get that bolt out, that one's loose, can't get that one out. The engine spacer, as I said, and then this engine case which used to be a mirror, you know, used to be fantastic and all lovely and see your face in it, and it's a real mess. But we'll get it back to the way it was, just a bit of work on the polishing mop, on the polisher mop. And yeah, the bike is still sitting there as it was before. Gsxr is out there on the driveway getting a bit of sun. So yeah, got those bits off now. I'm going to go and I'm going to get this rear set controls apart and then take them up to the shed and do a bit of polishing and machining. So catch you up there. Okay, so I've been up the shed and did a bit of polishing, machined up a spacer for that engine bracket, engine mount. Didn't have a piece of material big enough, so I've ended up making it in 2 pieces, which doesn't really matter because it's a spacer rather than like needs to be a solid bush or anything, you know. And a bit of polishing, a few things came up alright, footrest hangers and that. There's a little bit of stippling and that, but as long as it looks nice and it's shiny, that's okay with me. So there's those bits there. They need a wipe over. But the engine case is really bad, really bad. And as I was going along, I noticed it's just like, it's quite stippled. I don't know whether you can pick this up on the camera, but it's almost like your skin's got goosebumps, so it's like cross-hatched this way and that way and this way and that way, and then you end up with these like little lumpy bumpies going on. Which on an engine case, I really don't want that. It's not so bad on things like these, that's kind of got it in the middle there, but I'm not overly fussed like that. But on the engine cases, I really like them to look nice. So I think what I'm going to do is, it needs to be flatted back. You can either use a block of wood with a piece of wet and dry, or I've got this, I'm going to try the old sanding bodywork sponge. It is a bit soft, but you go lightly, you should be able to get some nice flatter surfaces again, and then I'll go up and do the final polish. So I'm going to do a bit of that now. That there kind of shows it. So we're just literally going to take the tops of those bumps off. Okay, so we had to get a bit more drastic, so I ended up using some 80 grit sandpaper with a block. Then I went over it with the coarse side of that, and now I'm just finishing it up with a bit of a water coat on the soft side of this pad. And it's looking a bit better now. Certainly good enough to go back up to the polisher, so I'm going to finish this off now and take it back up to the polisher. Here we go then. Finished the polishing on the casing. I'm sort of happy with it, but not, you know, that's about as good as I'm prepared to go. Time and effort wise, it looks tidy and presentable, but it's got ingrained water markings and other discrepancies that are, you know, when you get in there close and look at it, it's annoying, but when you come back here, it's alright, same as the rest of it really. But then, like I said before about being just disappointed with myself for leaving it run bad for so long, but you know, well, you just got to live with it and that's it. So right, well, I'm going to drag some bikes out and have a play with them, see what I can do. Might get a bit of it on footage, but I'm getting off with this wind now, because every time it's, oh, I want to come out and do something, even if it's not raining, it's just windy as coming in my door hole. What can I say? Getting off. Just got to go on with it, I suppose. Right, do some stuff.